YouTube. So I'm back to talk to you guys. I have compiled a list of things that I would like to talk about so that I can stay on track. In my introductory video where I was being a goofball, which I tend to do, I was talking mostly about my hair being natural. So this is, I guess, the first time me wearing my hair natural on camera or whatever, and this is pretty much what it looks like. My hair may appear to be longer in the top than it is in the nape, but in actuality it's longer in the nape than it is in the top, and I just kind of always push this in to give it kind of like a bob shape and effect. So it's one of my little tricks. So the first thing I'm going to talk about that I have on my little list here is how I came to be a natural. So I came to be a natural in March of 2011. Although that is not the first time that I had did a big chop on my hair before. The first time that I did a big chop on my hair was in 2003, because I went to an African shop and I got my hair braided, and when I got ready to take the braids out weeks later, I realized that they actually literally tied my hair into a knot around the braid, and I could not take it out, and I was so upset and so frustrated that I literally grabbed a pair of scissors and cut all my hair off down to the scalp. So both of my big chops are similar in that way. They weren't planned. I just grabbed a pair of scissors for whatever frustration I was feeling, and I just took all my hair off. Because sometimes, you know, it's like that. So that was my first big chop, and I dyed my hair and wore a TWA for a while, and then I went back to relaxing in European styles, which, for the record, I do like European styles. I still like European styles. I like straight hair, I like long hair, and I guess that's why I continue to wear weaves. So, like, I do. I mean, honestly, like, having my hair like this is something that I have to get accustomed to personally, because it's just something that I'm not used to. It's very high maintenance, and sometimes it's really hard to deal with. So it's not always easy to deal with my hair. And the way that I deal with my hair is with low manipulation styles. But let me get back to how I came to my recent big chop and my decision to embark on the natural journey this time around in 2011. So I always wore a lot of weaves. Not particular because I couldn't grow my hair or have a nice wrap or do things with other styles, but I just really love weave. Like, I'm a weave junkie, even still to this day. Like, I really do love weave. I like fake hair, and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. I do believe in taking care of your hair so that you don't scalp yourself, and you can still wear your hair if you choose not to wear weave. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with wearing weave and enjoying weave. That's what it's meant for. And you can do a lot of things to weave that you cannot do to your hair. Like, taking care of hair, period, is high maintenance, real hair, because you have to keep it healthy and you have to maintain it. So, yes, but me wearing weave and weave and weave and weave actually did lead to me not taking care of my real hair. And one day I took out one of my weaves and I just looked in the mirror and I'm like, I couldn't even wear my real hair if I wanted to. I'm like, this just looks like, this shit looks bad. Like, to be all the way honest, that's what I said to myself. Like, this just looks freaking terrible. So, in my frustration, I grabbed the scissors and I cut all my hair off down to the scalp. Now, when I cut my hair off down to the scalp back in March of 2011, I didn't know nothing about no natural hair, none of that. I ain't know nothing about no Bantu knots, no twist outs, oils, all the stuff. The whole natural world to me was completely foreign. I cut my hair because the hair that I had was unhealthy and I just wanted to start over. So my plan was, okay, well, I'm going to cut all my hair off down to the scalp, and then in 6 months I'll get a relaxer. That was my whole game plan. So I cut all my hair off down to the scalp. I was doing protective styles like wigs. Still had no clue about twisting out or nothing like that. Anything. So I just kept wearing wigs when it got long enough. Because I took it down so low, it wasn't even long enough to French braid it. Like, you couldn't even catch it a little bit to braid it. That's how low it was. So I was just wearing, at first I was just gelling it back, doing wigs, stuff like that. Once it got long enough to braid, after a couple of months to where I can catch it, and I can catch pretty short hair, I started braiding it back and just oiling my scalp with the intentions of getting a relaxer in 6 months. Well, 6 months came around and I'm like, well, I'll wait another 6 months because all my hair was new, fresh, and it was, you know, it was pretty decent. It was growing really well. So to me, it was like no point in getting a relaxer yet, but always with the intention of getting a relaxer. I just kept on pushing it back. So a year came up and I started hearing all this stuff about being a natural. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started seeing, it was, I don't know, like, it was like, it just popped on the scene for me. I don't know, it just clicked for me. I can't really say what it was, and it kind of clicked, and I'm like, well, I cut my hair last year. I don't have a relaxer, sorry. I don't have a relaxer. I'm a natural. And that's when I'm like, I'm a natural, you know what I'm saying, goofy. You know, all of that. So that's how I became a natural. That's when I decided at that point, a year after my big chop, that I would no longer be getting a relaxer. And now that I'm 2.5 years into my natural journey after the big chop, I can honestly say that I will probably never, ever, even though they say that you should never say never, get a relaxer again, just because I don't want one. I don't want those chemicals on my hair or in my scalp. I do like the fact that my hair is chemical free. I like it. So, and a lot of the benefits with it is the fact that I do not get dandruff at all. And when I was getting my hair relaxed, I got dandruff. I'm sorry, something is wrong with my speech today. And I'm going to try to edit it out, maybe, but we shall see. Anyway, when I did get dandruff, it was just at a moderate level. So it wasn't really bad. Like, I never really had bad dandruff. So I don't get dandruff. What else? I don't have to worry about not scratching my scalp for a relaxer. I don't have to worry about putting chemicals in my hair. My hair is much healthier. It's growing much faster. It's a lot of good things as far as the hair health benefits of me being a natural. A lot of the things that I'm not used to as far as me being a natural is that it's not as easy to maintain as it is with the relaxer. And I've also decided that I don't want to heat train my hair because I don't want to disturb the curl pattern. So just being like literally natural, no heat, just water, oils, and different things like that, different waxes and greases. It's a little more to maintain as far as keeping your hair from matting, being tangled, and just basically looking unkempt. Like, one night of sleeping on it will have you looking like you have not put a comb in your hair since the day you started growing hair. And I am not lying. It will take you back to your roots, baby. So you better be ready. Okay, I'm just playing. Anyway, so trial and error with natural hair. All of us naturals go through trial and error. I say use whatever it is that works for your hair. Everybody has a different hair grade, even though cultures of people share like hair textures as far as you know, 4s and 3s and 2s and 1s. Most black people are between the 3 range and the 4 range. I am all the way at the bottom of the 4 range. I have 4C hair. When I first started this natural thing, I had no clue about anything except how to French braid my hair, which I've been French braiding since I was a young girl, and I've been knew how to braid, so that was about the only thing I knew as far as like me not getting a relaxer. Well, I better keep it braided and keep it back. And honestly, that's what grew my hair, because I didn't manipulate it a lot, and I still don't manipulate it a lot. And you probably won't be seeing me wearing my hair out a lot because I don't wear my hair out a lot, because honestly I don't want to be bothered with it. I really don't know what to do with it. I don't want to cut it right now. I just want to keep on growing it, but it's still at this in-between stage where it looks awkward to me. Like, it's hard to get a shape going, and it's like to get a really distinctive curl pattern, I have to Bantu knot it, and then my afro is like this big. So I haven't found my way completely, and I'm still, you know, going through my trial and error phase, and, you know, just basically doing what works for as long as it works, and when it stops working, I don't do it anymore. So, and yeah, I got my Amy Winehouse thing going on. So, some of the products I use.